you tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now, it's Judge. Probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the weekend. You know, Austin is the Yankee fan on here. I was rooting him for in the World Series, but, you know, some people might be freaking out. I don't know if Austin's one of them, but you're about to find out. We already talked about Stanton, but Stanton, it's unclear of what's happening. But of course, Garrett Cole is out for the year because of Tommy John. So is the Yankee season already over, Austin?
I'm a hopeful person. I'm going to say no. But I would understand if someone said yes. Apparently, because of how Stanton's been swinging lately, meaning the past couple seasons, it's affected his elbows. And he's been suggested for surgery on both elbows, Kevin. On both. Which is something rough to hear. But if he needs surgery, I'd rather him take as much time as possible to get back for future runs than himself rushing himself back and then obviously not being able to play a longer career than he may be able to. But it's going to take a lot for us to have, us being the Yankees, to have success this year. Judge is going to have a great year. We have problems at third base. Another injury concern is DJ LeMahieu. He was supposed to contend at least for the starting third base position, but he's dealt with some injuries. Obviously, Torres is somewhere else. He's with Detroit. A lot of holes right now. And since the Yankees have last played a regular season game, they have lost Soto, Cole, Stanton, Torres, LeMahieu for either injury reasons or leaving in free agency. So there's been a lot of turnover. And I don't know necessarily what we're going to do to find answers. It's going to be a next man up mentality for the entirety of the season. The Yankees also, obviously, they lost Nestor Cortez in the offseason, and with losing Garrett Cole, we didn't lose Nestor, we traded him away for Devin Williams, but it's kind of roster spots for the starting pitching is opening up, and it's going to take a lot of stuff going right for us to have success this year, but it's happened before. I mean, we've seen the Braves, they dealt with a lot of injuries the year they won the World Series. It's been done before. And with Judge, nothing's impossible. I mean, he's been one of the best regular season players of all time, at least this generation, definitely. So he can carry us for a large portion as long as he stays healthy, which I'm hoping he does. But I wouldn't say the season's over, but there's a mountain to climb over for it not to be.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. And I think to me, what these injuries mean is their ceiling's not as high. I still think they can be a playoff team because they have players like Judge. They were a playoff team with Judge and a lot of other guys that really aren't on the team anymore. So it just dampens their ceiling to me. I don't think they're going to be terrible. I think it would be viewed as terrible in kind of that the Yankees are the team with that media landscape where they got to be competing, playing hard, destroying teams and be viewed as a top team, or it's a disappointing season for them, especially coming off the World Series. But I do think they can still make the playoffs. I think they can make moves. I don't think it's disastrous. It's just you don't have your ace. Another top pitcher for you is gone, as you mentioned. Then a key hitter is gone. But I do think they also have Paul Goldschmidt. They added, you have, I'm trying to remember Volpe in hoping to grow. I do think they're going to lean on young guys, and they might make a trade. They did make that trade for Devin Williams. The bullpen is supposed to be better. So to me, it really just dampens the ceiling of could they return to the World Series, which it could still happen, but it's just you don't have an ace. They do have they did sign Max Fried. So it's just not a stacked lineup as it was before with all the injuries. So we'll have to see how they do and what they do at the trade deadline or sign guys just because like get some people in there. But we'll have to see. I don't think it's over. I think it's just maybe not as high expectations given where they were and what has changed since the World Series.
Yeah, I can see it that way. There's a lot to be done though, and spring training, young guys can make a show. Ben Rice has started to play better in spring than he did last spring, and last year he did get some PT, but that was because of injuries. And this year he's probably going to be rolling through some DH spots. We'll see if we do sign guys as well to fill in those positions. But the season's not over, and I do think Boone will get a get out of jail free card for this season if we don't do well, and both Stanton and Garrett Cole are out for the year. As long as we're not horrible, as long as we go above 500, even if we don't make the playoffs, I think he gets a get out of jail free card because of those injuries. So it may just be a lost year, but I still have faith that they'll be able to make some noise, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, bringing up Boone's future is a great point because it always seems like he's been, and that's part of the media landscape too, if he's always been on the hot seat. But I do think he does get a pass. And I think specifically because my kind of direction or kind of questioning has been towards the GM of the Yankees, Andrew Cashman, just over what he's done. And I think that brings a key point. That to me is the more important. I think he would get a jail out of free card, as you mentioned with Boone. And I think that's more important because it's more about the direction and what players the Yankees have signed and how they have gone and what they've tried to build. And I think that's really a huge thing of Cashman. I just don't think he's made the best lineup. He's made some good moves, so like of course Soto, but there are other moves where I just don't think he's making the best move. And that's
You mean Brian Cashman, right?
Brian Cashman? Dang. Did I say Andrew?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Is there an
You're
Andrew
good.
Cashman now?
I am not familiar with him if there is one.
Yeah, there's no Andrew. Yeah, that's my bad. Brian Cashman. That's my bad.
Yeah, I just wanted
Brian
to
Cashman.
clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, so Brian Cashman and just kind of what has he done? And I think that's a key thing, and we'll have to see what happens. But no reason to doom and gloom right now. Just be a little bit. You can still be a little bit sad, but no. The game should still be watched and monitored. The Yankees should be monitored.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of time. There's 162 games, obviously, in the season. There's a trade deadline. There's a lot of things to be done, and spring training isn't even over yet. So a lot of time to make moves. But again, I think the feel in the locker room is a lot different than it was heading into last year. This is not soon we will be doing our World Series or busts, right? And I'm reconsidering my picks for a couple teams because of either injuries or trades or other stuff. So it's going to be a long year, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. And yeah, make sure you're following us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.